8:39 now, almost 20 minutes away from 9.
A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
Sam Hunt back once again, just in time, just in the nick of time for a little something for the weekend. G'day, Sam.
G'day, Wammo. Yeah, it was a bit of a rush this morning. I was up in the near the Waipua forest, you know, with the big. Not that I was looking at the kauri trees, but
hanging out with Mahuta.
Me and Mahuta. Me and Mahuta. Me and Mahuta, we were out there in the Waipua forest. I know, got a good friend up there. So
cool.
And then I remembered, oh God, it's Friday morning. I've got to talk to Wammo. Then I thought later I could have rang you from there and got you to ring me there, but I hit the road. Yeah. By the way, since last week, I got a message from a chap by the name of Neville.
Oh, yes.
I don't know when Neville's left. It's an old name, isn't it, Neville? You don't get many Nevilles these days. I don't think you're getting many Nevilles on the play centres. They're all Ashleys and...
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting the names, how they become... I'm horrified with the name of Sam when I went through school. I don't remember another Sam either at primary school or when I went to St Peter's College in Auckland, that nightmare of a place.
It's a very current name now. It's very popular.
Sam, yeah. I feel like changing my deed poll. Maybe I'll change my name to Neville. It's something for the weekend with Neville Hunt.
Well, you don't see Frederick anymore, do you?
Well, my younger son, as you know, his name's Alfred.
Yeah, that's an old timer's name.
That's a nice old name, and I'm delighted, but not sort of. I hope I'm not cursing, putting a jinx on it now by saying this, but I'm delighted to see there are no other Alfreds that I know of.
Yeah.
That I happen to know of, around in his generation. They all seem to be Jordans and Nathans and names like that. You know, sort of yeah. But anyway,
wasn't there the great movie Michael Caine? Was it Alf?
Oh yeah. Well, I've got a mug. In fact, the mug appears on the cover of Backroads.
Yeah.
And it says Alf. Next time you see that book, check out the mug. It says, and somebody gave me that. That was a mug, a tea or coffee mug that would have been produced at the time of Alf.
Ah, I see.
That's right.
I'll have a closer look. I'll back the book. I've got the book.
You also can see a little jar there. I wonder what they keep in there. You can try and work that out. We could run a competition. We could run a competition on Kiwi FM.
Actually, we should get a hold of some more of those books, and I'd love to give just a couple away, perhaps over the next.
Well, we could have a competition. What is in the brown plastic jar with the white top?
All right.
You know
what I'll do. I'll bring my copy of the book in next week, and I'll get that on the video stream as well, so people who haven't got the book because they might want to win it can see it.
And we should get some copies set up. Now, we'll get a few copies set up. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But just to say, get back to Neville.
Yes.
Poor Neville waiting in the wings. Neville wanted me. He really loved. He said a couple of quotes apart from the poems, which he enjoyed, but a couple of quotes from Pablo Neruda last week, and he wondered if I'd repeat them. And because I think they're so beautiful too, I'm very happy to repeat them.
Okay.
And the first one was just a simple sentence. Solitude and silence become the ultimate reason for creation. I love that. I mean, it's almost the other way around. The creation gets you that solitude. It's a lovely one. And the other one I love, and another one for you, Neville, is the sacred duty of the poet is to leave and to return. And when I was sort of scribbling these out, just so I had them for this morning, shows how well prepared I am. Shows I did my homework well, doesn't it? I'm also happened to be rereading for the first time for a few years now Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, and having written those lines down, especially that bit about the silence, the leaving and returning in Antony and Cleopatra in Act 1, there's just a lovely little line, few lines of Antony's where he says to Cleopatra, and I love these lines. I've never come across them before, but they're beautiful, and they sort of echo that line of Neruda's. Let us go, he says, come, our separation is so abides and flies, that thou residing here goes yet with me, and I hence fleeting here remain with thee. Away.
Nice.
Away. I like the last bit. Away.
Yeah.
We're off. Wonder where they went. Yeah. I love Antony and Cleopatra. I think on this program before I've quoted from later in the same play, and again Anthony speaking, the wonderful When Everything's Lost. It's a great play. It's a great play. Have they made a film of it? I hope they haven't.
Yeah, they years ago. It's an old film.
Like an old Shakespearean film.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be okay. I can't stand these ones where they get all dressed up and they... Oh, I saw one Shakespeare, I think it was Richard III.
Yeah.
By Brannigan. I didn't go with it at all. It was sort of all I think it was pre-Second World War Germany or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can see what they're doing, but it's a head trip. But listen to these lines. And I apologise for repeating myself, but I love these lines. This is Anthony. He's talking to his captains, and they're around, and he says, I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathed, and fight maliciously. For when mine hours were nice and lucky, men did ransom lives of me for jests. But now I'll set my teeth and send to darkness all that stop me. Come, this is a great line, come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me all my sad captains. Fill our bowls once more with wine. Let's mock the midnight bell. Then Cleopatra says, it is my birthday. And so on. It's a lovely, lovely. To say how great Shakespeare is.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I can tell you, Sam. I'm just looking. There was a film done in 1908, and there was another one done in 1972, directed and starring Charlton Heston, of course, the classic.
Oh,
Charlton Heston.
Yeah. I suppose Charlton Heston plays Antony, presumably, or Caesar. Yeah, because Caesar's in it too. Yeah, well,
and Hildegard Neal as Cleopatra.
I've read her name. I don't know her actor, but is that right? She plays Cleopatra. Well, she sounds better. Yeah.
And Eric Porter as Barbus.
Oh yeah. Oh well, okay. But like I say, I don't think I've seen a. I've never seen a production of Antony and Cleopatra. I mean, most kids going through New Zealand schools at some stage, I guess, see. Yeah. I don't know. Well, they see Julius Caesar. There was that famous one, the old black and white they used to show us.
That's right.
With Laurence Olivier and John Gielgud. John Gielgud in Macbeth. John Gielgud is a very gay old banquo.
Yeah.
I always like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing. Last week I was just changing tack a minute, but last week I was talking about Pablo Neruda and other things.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the South American poets and my love for many of them, people like Cesar Vallejo and the Peruvian bloke, Leopoldo Marechal. Anyway, and I said sort of, as against the North American poets, well, that's of course not true. I mean, in fact, there are many, and on this program I've told poems by people like Wallace Stevens and Sylvia Plath and Anne Sexton. So I'm not anti the North American poets. But this week I have just found a poet. He's not a new North American poet. In fact, he was a poet laureate a couple of years ago. And quite a few years ago, a woman I know, a writer, some of the listeners may remember her name, Kappa Casabova. She was in New Zealand. Anyway, she gave me a book of Charles Simich's poems.
Okay.
And I've talked before about how poets can elude you, and you can try reading them, or like songs, certain songs just don't move you. And then suddenly, for some peculiar reason, they come into your orbit. So I won't have time to do too much here, but I just love to read a Charles Simic poem to give you an idea. He was born in Serbia. He was born in Serbia, the old Yugoslavia, in Belgrade, in 1936. So I think he's in his 70s now. He was one of them. He and his family, or his mother. He and his mother were one of the millions of misplaced people, as they were referred to, in the Second World War. And then at 16, they made it to the United States, which made me think again, what an amazing country, These people from all places. And here's this little 16-year-old, boy from Serbia, spoke no English, And he goes on and he becomes the nation's poet laureate, and rightly so. I mean, I think our idea of poet laureates is pretty pathetic, but the Americans seem to have it sorted out. Listen to this one here. This is by Charles Simic. It's just in 3 short verses. It's called Grey-Headed School Children. I love it, and I hope you enjoy it too. Old men have bad dreams, so they sleep little. They walk on bare feet without turning on the lights, or they stand leaning on gloomy furniture, listening to their hearts beat. The one window across the room is black like a blackboard. Every old man is alone in this classroom, squinting at that fine chalk line that divides being here from being here no more. No matter, it was a glass of water they were going to get, but not just yet. They listen for mice in the walls, a car passing on the street, their dead fathers shuffling past them on their way to the kitchen.